Today we're going to visit our friends at Bouncewave Inflatables, all the way down in Dade City, Florida, which is a little bit north of Tampa. And we're going to talk to our friend Blake and have a tour of the facility and kind of go through the whole thing of this inflatable company that is kind of changing the industry. A little background on Bouncewave: it was founded by a guy named Jason Ladd, who in 2005 saw that there was a need not only for an inflatable company, which he could make some money at, but also for a quality company that provided a reliable service with good equipment. And he started, doing all his research and figured out how to bring this to light and make it into a solid business. Now, he didn't just get into the business and start buying inflatables and renting them out there and stuff. He went one step further. He started innovating. He started creating his own inflatables. He started, designing his own designs. It made things better for the customer, easier for employees, and the industry around it reacted. So, he's expanded this out and started offering his pieces out to the public after he's used them for a while and tested them. And what he's done is created a product that is absolutely amazing. It's innovative. It is quality. It is something that is kind of heads and shoulders above the other, people in the industry. He just opened the warehouse in Dade City, and inside they not only do the operations of selling and shipping the inflatables that they've produced, but he also has a fully functional rental business that serves the entire area. So he is literally testing it as he goes. We're going to dive deep into it. We're going to talk to our friend Blake. We're going to ask him some questions about the industry and how Bouncewave is doing things a little different. And we're also going to get the tour of the factory and check it out. So you guys buckle up, get ready for one of the best inflatable companies that are in the industry today, Bouncewave Inflatables.
You guys have, and again, you've been in the actual manufacturing sales part of it for a few years, but you're kind of a new kid on the block as far as things that are going on. There's a lot of companies coming in. There's a lot of companies going out.
Yeah.
And honestly, what we've seen in the industry is we've seen some of the old guard retiring or just shutting shop. In inflatables, Bob, huge for many years, and now his son has taken over, and he's retired and moved on. So it's kind of a changing of the guard that we're going through now.
Yeah.
And you as the new guys, what is setting you guys apart here at Bouncewave from everyone else out there?
Yeah, great question. So really two things we always stick to our guns on is quality and customer service. Not to say that we're perfect. We make mistakes. Production things happen. But for the most part, we're going to do everything we can to make everything right with a customer. If something isn't right, we'll make it right. At times, if the inflatable is not perfect or there's something that's truly wrong, it just gets replaced and we move on and kind of do things like that. And quality, and that comes from being in the rental side, which there's not a lot of manufacturers that truly have skin in the game is actually out there the same as their customers are. So doing it as long as we have, we know what quality measures, what works for us in the field, how we want a unit to inflate. There's some manufacturers that put like 2 zippers in a unit. Our slides have 7. So they're going to drop fast, get you out, get to the next one, because when you got 8 or 10 of them and you're picking up at 8, 9 o'clock, that can get late quick. All of our slides, the slide liners are 20 ounce vinyl, pool liners are 20 ounce vinyl, heat welded, pools are heat welded. And constant kind of innovation. We're always looking to make stuff better for the operator. So as we go on, there's always something new that we're trying in the back end of things. We don't ever bring anything to light until we know it's perfect. So recently, I don't know if you've seen, we've implemented what's called the auto drainage zipper.
Yes.
Which is a huge help. It does take a little bit more time for some people, but there's a lot of single one-man operators out there. So that's huge for them. You just open the front zipper, reach in, open that inside one, shut the outside, and they go stand on the corner, and air just does its thing and pushes it up and allows you to dump all that water. Because everybody who's in this and has a big slide knows when sometimes those things get sucked up to the ground and you're fighting them, and that's a nightmare. And you're by yourself, it's real hard.
Right.
So constant things like that, quality customer service. We answer the phone 7 days a week. There's not many that do that, and we're happy to do it. There's been plenty of times, Saturdays and Sundays, that customers have a question about rolling a unit, have a question about something. I have no problem. We FaceTime and we figure it out kind of right there. So
I've noticed, and I've seen you guys kind of evolve.
Mhm.
I've seen you at the shows, and I've kind of from the back watching outside looking in.
yeah,
You're probably one of the most innovative companies out there, and that
Yeah.
comes from being in the business or whatever. But I've noticed the things that you've done, everything from, you know, the party room attached to the bounce house,
Mhm.
The inflator that helps you stand the units
The
up,
wedge,
yeah, those kind of things have definitely setting you apart
Mm-hmm.
on the outside looking in, and obviously it's helping. And I've talked to some of the customers, they're gravitating towards that with you
Mhm.
guys, and I find that it's you know, it's really something to marvel in and to see. What are some of the biggest trends that you see industry wise, as far as, you know, what's going on, and you know, things that are both your customers and on the rental side and on the inflatable, you know, manufacturing side are calling for?
So as we grow, we see a lot more people that are wanting things like kind of inflated pools, that kind of run. It's a different run from the southeast than compared to like the northern states. I see a lot more operators, even kind of as you blend down into the southeast, that are starting to like inflated pools a little bit more. They are easier for you, and that's part of the reason that when you go back to the drainage zipper, why we implemented that. People want deep pools. The renter wants that big splash. The kids want to hit that pool. Not always what's easiest for you is what is best for your company. So we implemented that auto drainage zipper to kind of somewhat get around that, to allow that, to give that operator that aid, I would say, to still give the customer what they want. That's one thing that we're seeing a lot more this year, kind of into last year, into this year, is people hate fighting these pools, and that's their way around it, is an inflated pool because it's already done. So that would be one thing that I definitely see.
Is that standard? That pool is standard on all your units?
Yep,
So
everything now. So we implemented that halfway through the year. Everything now that we are receiving is all standard. There's no extra cost. It's just built into the unit and it's ready to go on anything with a deep pool.
Very nice.
Yeah.
We like I said, I've been in the business since 2005, and I've been doing it, and we have seen year over year that our insurance has kind of incrementally increased with the amount of money that we were making. But something happened this past year that was totally out of whack, and we saw a 40% increase in our insurance. What are you guys doing on your side to try to keep those costs down, safety wise, and in the manufacturing, development, and design of your units?
Yeah, so there's a big array of different things safety wise that we do for our inflatables. You will see on ours that we have way more stake points than really we need or even standards call for. I want to say there's about 16 different bottom J standard points on our, say, like an 18-foot hybrid water slide. You'll also look at kind of how on our slides, how we tie in the netting, we bring it down very far. So kids can't just jump over the side and flip out of the climbing rail, things like that. Up at the top, we have a 36-inch crawl space. That keeps those kids, they can't stand up and do front flips or anything. It makes them get up there, kind of get down the slide, and then I have a big bounce house up top. A lot of just little things like that go on that we implement to really kind of help with safety.
Well, and what we've found is that if you follow the rules, there's literally no way to get hurt if you follow the rules.
Exactly.
It's generally the players not following one or more of the rules, and that causes issues. And you know, you can try to mitigate as much of that swaying away from the rules as you can, but there's only so much that you can do. So very cool. Durability and maintenance. Now you mentioned that your slide mats are 20-ounce vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean to the layman? Obviously, you know, we know what it means, but what is the?
So basically, it's just a thicker, heavier duty vinyl. So it can take that much more wear and tear compared to some companies just don't even have a liner. They're seamless, which is cool in theory, saves you some weight, but it doesn't save you that wear and tear on the unit itself. So we give a 2-year free replacement of slide liners and pool liners if they ever get damaged to the point they rip, tear. They're not supposed to. But they are heat welded. They're 20-ounce vinyl, so they're really heavy duty, and they can just take that abuse, and it allows you to basically interchange that, put a new one on, and kind of keep rolling if you do ever have an issue.
Now, do you keep those in stock, or
We
is
don't
that
keep
something you
them.
have to order in? Or?
Yep, but we can build them very quickly. So say if either way, whether you're under warranty or not, if you said, hey Blake, you sent me some pictures, this is tearing here, or this is lifting here, I have you send me the serial number I get with my team at factory and say, hey, I need to get this built, and we build it within a week and ship it to you to your door, air ship it. You have it probably within 2 weeks and back rolling, ready to go.
That's
so
fine.
that's kind of our process there. There's a lot of different colors and things, so it's kind of hard to keep them here. And we like to build them exact to the serial number. That way we know we're getting it perfect.
What is where's your manufacturing coming from? Where's it at?
We're in Southeast Asia,
Okay.
over in China. We have 3
China.
factories. 2 of them are really close. One of them is actually a little bit further away.
Right.
But we don't lie about it. There's a lot of companies out there that
No, and all of them, 90% of them.
and
are
if they say they build them here, all the material comes from there. So it's
what
just kinda,
and not trying to get off the topics that we're on,
Yeah.
but what are
can't get people here to build them,
right?
not to the level of
Yeah.
what they need.
We've talked to a couple other manufacturers, and they're looking at, they're just now starting to look at maybe moving some of the facilities into Mexico.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
so the future may hold that kind of stuff,
Mhm.
and you guys are, staying abreast of all that and making sure that you're going to be able to
Yeah.
get in there as quick as you can.
Yeah.
We see inflatables in Walmart. We see
Mhm.
them at Home Depot. We see them just everywhere. But honestly, there's the 2 different sides of the
Yeah.
inflatable business. There's the at-home business, and then
Yeah.
there's your commercial grade business.
Mhm.
Talk to me about what who your target audience is, or your customers are,
Yeah.
and why you don't do both sides of that coin. Why aren't you making the Walmart version? of
Yeah,
those?
for sure. So the one thing too that we just kind of circle back to is BounceWave. Everything we do is quality. So in a semi-commercial field, people would buy them and then still rent them out to customers as a normal unit for the most part, and say, well, I bought it from BounceWave. And we don't like to tie that to our name. Like I said, we're not perfect. There's some things we make mistakes on. We do everything we can to make it right. But what we will tell you is if something isn't to our standards, we're not going to build it. So the quality stuff, we stay in that commercial run and try to be the best in commercial. And there's some other good inflatable manufacturers out there, don't get me wrong, but we definitely try to be at the top of that. So
And those things they're not even the same thing. It's like literally a bicycle and a car
Exactly.
when you compare the 2, because
yeah,
one is literally designed for someone to drag out in their yard and let their kids play on it a couple times, and if it rips,
rips, yeah.
you're $100 or whatever,
Yeah.
$200. Whereas the stuff we're talking about is thousands of dollars in investment and hundreds of pounds of vinyl that is cut precisely and stitched in a way that it's supposed to be a different kind of situation. So that's cool. And honestly, every single customer, and you guys in the rental business, you see it. How much do them things cost? And where can I get one of that? How much does that thing weigh? The customers always ask you the same questions. And they don't really realize that we're dealing with a product that's not the same thing that they're dealing with, and they really wouldn't want to. In fact, I'll have customers ask me all the time, how much are those things? And I'll tell them, and they'll say, oh, that's not too bad. I may have to get me one. And I'll tell them, let me know when you want to sell it, because I'll buy it back from you, because they don't really realize that the work that goes into your business.
yeah.
As far as customization, customization of an inflatable could be anything from different colors. Hey, we're from Georgia, and the red and black is the Georgia colors, and do you guys do any special customization like that? And one step further, if I had a really harebrained idea and I wanted to make a super duper slide that does a certain loop or something like that, do you do stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's one thing that really sets us apart, I think, from any manufacturer in the industry, is we do a lot of custom stuff. We do a lot of printed vinyl, a lot of just really kind of off the wall different things. between Austin, who we met just a little bit ago, Austin, he's basically our VP of design. He does a lot of designs late at night, coming up with different stuff. I got a really cool design to show you, actually, since you mentioned Georgia Bulldogs. We built something really cool for a customer in Georgia not long ago. It's actually in production now. But that's another thing that we do is we will work designs with you, custom designs. If you said, hey, Blake, I got an idea. I want to put a Bulldog on this water slide. I'd say, okay, and I'd go to my designers and we'd work back and forth. I'd send it to you. You'd say, hey, I kind of want to see this here, this color here, move this. We kind of work together until we get to one that you say, yeah, I like that. That looks pretty cool. And we do that absolutely free. You don't buy it, no hard feelings. But that's the service that we provide. We spend that time with our customers to bring what you want to life. So there's nothing that we will completely say absolutely no to unless it gets to the point that it's either not to our quality or it's not safe. Because we're always going to build stuff safe.
Right.
That's why you see a lot of our slides, combos, might be a little bigger than they need to be. Slide lane runouts and things like that to keep people from flying over the edge at the end of the pool when that 300-pound guy goes on there and dives down it. We're always looking out to make sure we're putting our operators that we're selling to in the best spot for safety. And I guess that wraps back into the safety question, but that's another thing there.
What, and again, you guys kind of have a unique perspective on this.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges that are facing the rental companies that you're hearing now, both in the fact that you're renting them and that the customers are calling you and saying, hey, I'm really having a tough time with this? What are some of the challenges that we got going on right now?
So I think as far as the customer side of the actual operations is not having the right equipment. These things are heavy, right? Having the right dollies, whether they become a really good manual dolly, electrics are the best in the game, everybody knows that. But having the right equipment to move these things is everything. Because I have a lot of customers that we do a lot of first time startups because of this time we spend with our customers. They come here, we'll blow them up for them, show them how to roll them, how to stake them, let them get hands on to really feel what they're getting themselves into. And sometimes that makes their decision that no, they don't want to do this. And that's fine. We want to make sure that our customers are going into a business full bore. And then right when they do that, they understand why they need to buy a Diamondback dolly or a Rolls-All. Very good. We use them for years. And there's some other good ones out there too. But that is the absolute, I'd say 100% biggest thing is having the right equipment to move these things around, to get them in the yard, the hill that you got to climb with it or down it. When it's full of water and they shut it off in the backyard and if the rainstorm came through,
Right.
that thing's flooded and you can't get it up and you're by yourself or only two people. Just that the right equipment is everything.
Very cool. All right. Well, Blake, I appreciate your time
Absolutely.
and you talking to us and
Yeah.
the whole go through. We're going to buy some blowers and we're going to do another video on head to head with your
Sweet.
blowers and everybody else.
Yeah.
And we're going to put it out. We'll share it with you guys and go from there.
Awesome. Appreciate you. And then like the old BRs, they got the sideways handle and they're kind of weird to carry. And shop at the moment. This is my office here.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Nice off.
This is Austin.
Hey,
How's it going?
Austin, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice setup, yeah. Very cool.
Yep, University of Florida graduate. He's a smart one.
We won't hold it against you. We're Georgia boys, so.
This is Blaine. This is Jason's other son.
Hey, good to meet you.
And then I can show you kind of out in the warehouse as well, and then however you want to kind of do some videos.
Yep.
Warehouse is cooler to see. There's a lot more stuff to look at.
How long has BounceWave been in business, and how long have they been selling? Now they start off obviously renting inflatables.
Correct. Yeah, we started off on the rental side, and then we started building on the rental side. We've been building
big
for
old
about
grasshopper.
13 years. As far as BounceWave, in turn with Bounce Water, we've been open selling inflatables. What did you say? About 5 years, 6 years at this point. And actually the sales side. Yeah, so starting here, these are the Diamondback dollies. I don't know if you've seen anything on those yet.
I'm a fan. So,
Okay, yeah.
I've got.
They're extremely impressive. So these are the companies that are around. They build them right here in the same part. Everything really that goes into these is built with quality. If I pull this one out, it's got actual like golf cart tires on it.
Yeah.
Boat trailer axles rated for 2,000 pounds each. everything, all the welds. A lot of companies do like spot welds. Everything's fully welded on these. 1,200 pound rated pneumatic casters. So they're really nice. You get like that dense sand. It just kind of seems to float on top of it instead of digging deep into it.
Right.
So that's really nice about it too. These fold down or fold up, I should say. The reason we did this is you get on a trailer and you got them slap full, just that little bit of clearance at the end. And some of them fold down. We just like them to go up that way. So basically they kind of latch right here.
Pretty cool.
You get that down and this pin will go right here and you pin it right in and then you got your.
You guys going to do a motorized, or you already have a motorized version?
It's in the works. It'll probably be early next year before we release it because we field test everything we do for a long time before we release it to anybody. But we do make the manual dollies and then we make the winch option as well. I don't have any of those here at the moment. And we also make a two wheel.
You did the chairs and tables and
Yeah, so this is more so our event rental side. We have a kind of a wedding event rental business where we do the bars, the wood tables, wooden willow chairs, which you see kind of down there, the cross backs. Then we also have this line of Shibari's, Infinity Ghost chairs. These are the King Louis chairs, what those are called.
right.
So yeah, we kind of offer a lot on that side. That's a company that we call Orchid House, actually, this company here. So we do a lot of that. That's more so obviously busier in the fall,
Right.
fall run, summer. We do a lot of the high peak tents and stuff as well. So that's kind of the run on that for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you selling those as well, or
So
just renting them?
we are selling some of them, just liquidating some of them. We're not really getting into the Shibari chair sales business by any means. We do sell plastic folding chairs, fan backs, the resins. That's kind of the run.
Right.
That's a different kind of market that ours really doesn't captivate in the high-end event rental.
And over here you got sandbags, tent, or
These,
stakes.
these here are actually just extra bags from inflatables that we keep just in case we need to put one on one or something like that. If we have to cut one to get a unit out. These are our tent stakes, so that's what we use for our lanyards that come off the top of the slide.
Who's doing those?
We source those out of Asia as well.
Okay.
Yeah, we have those manufactured. I do feel we have really the best tent stakes in the business. These are 18-inch J stakes. They're carbon steel. You can't break them. I mean, I've beat on them and beat them sideways and lime rock as hard as you possibly can. They are very, very good.
Yeah.
In comparison to some of the stuff.
And that's 3/4 inch, and it's
18.
Yeah, we actually started, and not that I'm in the business or anything, but I started manufacturing our own steaks because our guys eat steaks for lunch and dinner, and they just throw them everywhere and they lose them. And so I found that it's kind of easier to make them ourselves.
Like a rebar?
But that no. We go get the 3/4 inch steel. I got one.
really?
I'll show you. That's exactly what I designed. The other thing is I'm hand-forged, so I can't do it like you. My point is not as nice as that, and it's not plated or anything like that. But size, shape, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
That you're right on.
Yeah.
So definitely.
And we sell those for $8 each. Maybe a little more expensive than some others, but they're such good quality.
Worth it, yeah.
They're worth it. I mean, if you guys don't lose them,
Right,
they're going to be with you for a long time.
Yep.
These
are the blowers.
These are actually old Hawaii blowers that we're actually kind of just getting rid of at this point. These are the last, pretty close to the last of what we have of just old black and yellow.
Black and yellow.
Yep.
Okay.
I will show you.
Blowers.
Decent. We used them for a long time in our rental inventory. I mean, you have capacitors, which is it's kind of
Right.
But in comparison to some of the other brands, I felt like they were top 3 of in comparison to some of the others. These are our BounceWave blowers. We've got a couple 3 horses, 2s, 1.5s, and some 1s. This is just like our staging area for shipping.
Right.
So we have, I'll take you there in a second. We got pallet racks full of them.
But these are really, really nice. I
Yeah.
Kind of looking at them.
So that's the 1 horsepower. This is the only one that's different compared to the 1.5s, the 2s, and the 3s. The other 3 of them have dual fan blade technology. So they're actually encased inside with dual fans, which makes them extremely quiet. A lot of them just have a fan and a vent and just screaming loud. Ours are really, really quiet, especially when it's on an inflatable.
Right.
This one here is not dual fan blade, so it's not as quiet. But this 1 horsepower, I mean, it blows like a freight train. I can plug it in for you if you'd like to kind of feel it, but it's, in comparison, They're very, very good.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy one of each.
Okay.
from you. I'm gonna take them back.
Yeah.
I've got a wind meter, and you're gonna test the capacity against both some new blowers that I got and some old blowers, and we're gonna give you an honest evaluation. I honestly think that you guys you're on it. You're not having a
Yeah, I think so too. I'm pretty confident in that. I mean, I haven't had really, I mean, we've sold a lot of them at this point now, and I haven't had anybody not absolutely love it. So
we just had some BRs come in, and I know not anymore. They're not what they used to be.
Yeah.
And literally 2 weeks in, it's one of them went down.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Terrible. But anyway,
Can you show
go into the inflatable.
Yep. So a lot of these we have categorized by slot. A lot, some of them may be sold, some may be kind of stock available. But we have basically a categorized system that we have our computers on the inside where we know exactly where everything's at. You don't pull it. This could be a mix between combos, water slides, bounce houses, things like that. For sure. Hard to keep going. Unfortunately, anything can stop it. As soon as it hits, it's gone so fast. We had in January about 400 units in stock, with more coming. And just everything.
Well, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, for sure. So this is blowers. This is all BounceWave blowers here. Everything from 1s, 1.5s, 2s, and 3s. Yeah, and that's not all of them. There's some more over here.
And those are in the back.
So those are actually some of the kind of wedding chairs. Those are some of them we're actually selling. Those are the ghosts.
Right.
Those round back kind of chairs there. This is kind of start where we blend in between somewhat of our rental side and our sales side here. These are all plastic folding chairs. Mostly white. We do have some white plain backs. We have the resins, the blacks, and we have some gray as well. On the way back, straight back there, we actually have some high peak tents that we sell. We use those also in our rental inventory. This is kind of our setup for our tents. And sorry, they're in the middle of loading up for the weekend.
That's the real workers right there. They need to be celebrated. Those guys are working hard to really.
So what we do with our bundle of poles, we take ratchet straps, put them together. So now I can take this whole thing, we put it in the trailer and be ready to rock.
Very nice.
As far as our tent tops and our poles and stakes and everything, this is a 20 by 20 frame tent. So the high peaks are the nicer ones that we don't put the actual tent top in the bucket because the stakes and everything get it. So we put them back in the bag. But that's kind of the setup of how we transport all the other stuff.
So a rental side, how many pieces are you got in your rental?
We're pretty close to 300 on the rental side.
And what are you putting out percentage wise? You what 60, 70% a weekend?
I wouldn't say it's quite that high. It could be a much higher if we pushed it a lot harder. Over the years, we've kind of dialed it back a little bit. But I would say that a solid number of every weekend we have probably anywhere from 40 to 65 out.
Okay.
Yeah. And obviously, in that summertime, we dip off a little bit more fall, but for the most part, they stay moving. So we try to keep water slides and everything kind of in this middle road, the closest to be able to load up heavier big 2 pieces, things like that.
Very cool.
Obstacle courses, we got combos. Bounce houses are smaller combos in that as well. Like I said, it's a wreck right now because they're doing their thing, but
Very cool.
yeah.
Well, we can go back and ask some more questions. Got a few minutes.
Do you have any more questions out here?
No, this is perfect.
I do. On your straps, you got a yellow marking. Is that where you're writing the name of your units, or
On the
on your rentals over there?
Yeah, well, somewhat. So
They're proprietary strap.
that's partially is for that's when we sell them to customers. We put those on there so they can take a Sharpie and write the name on them. We like to label ours with the Sharpie mean streak, the white one, and
Yeah.
you write on them. These probably need to be redone after about every 4 months. They do wear off, but we write them on every side because if that strap's on the back side, you don't see it. Kind of a pain, but
Yeah, I saw the video where he was selling those straps, and that was the thing. That's where you label it.
Yep. We keep those sandbags, water bags, all that good stuff in stock. Actually, that's
We're doing good. Now, what I've seen is, and I've been doing this since 2005. So I've been in it a while. our situation is that we shifted hard away from backyard stuff.
Really?
So, and that just tells me the state of the economy. People don't have money. But, you know, we do tons of churches, tons of schools, tons of, you know, cities and municipalities. So the numbers aren't hitting so bad. I can tell you, we were up every month this year until, oddly enough, we hit June. And then June, it just went straight down. And I was like, what in the world is going on? And what it was all the home parties just kind of got hit really hard. And you know, 4th of July, we bounced right back up in July for, you know, all the 4th of July stuff with the cities and churches and stuff. But it's got me a little concerned about the economy and stuff, you know.
No, it's definitely tougher than it was last year, no doubt. But hopefully we get through this year and next year turn back in the corner. But yeah, it's definitely, it's a little different for sure. We see it on the sales side and the front side. We've had actually more finance deals this year, like just through the first quarter than we did all last year. So
Not scary. I would
tells
never
you.
tell anybody to finance an inflatable, especially when you can
there's a lot of
turn them
people.
and make some money, man. Don't.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Here's our sandbags. So
Nice.
they're really nicely made. So what we do is we'll take these.
Put about a ton of tan in that. can't
Yeah.
you?
So what we actually do is we go to Lowe's, we'll buy the pre-made sand in the bag
Right.
already, and we wrap it in duct tape really good, and then we throw them in here. The Velcro is really good; it's not gonna come apart. And one thing I love about our sandbags is they have a carrying handle like this. So it carries like a briefcase instead of sideways. Some people put the big strap there. So those are really, really good. And then here's our water bags.
Yep.
Which are all heat welded.
Now, who's doing this for you?
This is our inflatable factory.
Okay.
We have all anything vinyl. Is what we make there, kind of a cap
I
fill it up.
love the fact that your straps are integrated. A lot of them don't do that.
Yeah.
And how does that hold up with the glue or heat weld on that?
You really don't have any issues with them. We use them a good amount, I'd say, especially kind of the obviously the concrete jobs and things like that is where they kind of come into play.
What's the preference as far as your guys and your customers? Do they like water bags over
So-
sandbags?
It really depends. I mean, if you're somewhere that you can use sandbags, it is kind of easier for the guys to not have to sit there and fill up water bags.
Quicker.
They're a little heavier, but if you put them on your electric dolly and just wheel them where they need to go, it's not that big deal. If you're carrying them, they like the water bags because they can carry it empty and then just fill it up right on spot.
Right.
So it just really kind of depends on the application. But for the most part, we do a lot more sandbag stuff than we do.
And you've got a lot of little accessories.
Yeah,
Footballs.
footballs and
We went through. The kids always take the balls.
yeah.
And we kind of struggled with the idea of what do you do, what do you do, what do you do. And we finally come up with a conclusion. Let them take it.
Yeah.
Add $5 more to the price of the rental.
Yeah.
You just expect that they're going to take a ball.
Yeah.
And just replace it with that $5 or whatever.
It is always a constant battle of basketballs and footballs and axes. They always end up somewhere, especially the balls.
Right.
And all year we keep basically a lot of just kind of small stuff, cord ends for like the blowers and stuff, and they burn up at times, unfortunately. We do keep switches, capacitors, switches and capacitors for all the blowers just in case.
Yeah, we have a blower graveyard. So.
Yeah, so you pull them all,
Yeah.
put them all together. But yeah, this kind of right here is where we just weigh the shipment and everything before we ship it all out, big scale. For the most part, that's right here is where we unload containers, just send my truck back right up. And, we kind of do the whole operation there.
And with that, we were back on the road. We wanted to say thank you to Blake and all the guys down at BounceWave. Absolutely a remarkable setup they got going on, and really something that needs to be looked at if you're planning on it being in the business or if you're already in the business. Give them a look at, give them a shout out because these guys really are changing the industry. Before we left, we had to make one more stop, and that was to get some really good eats at the Black Eyed Pea. Again, if you go down to check it out, check these guys out as well. Amazing food. We appreciate you guys. Give us a like, give us a comment, and we'll see you guys next time.